Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some of the movers on this Thursday. With us is Bloomberg News cross-asset reporter Emily Graffeo. Emily, Eli Lilly, that's the first name you have for us, and this one really selling off today.
Yeah, it was down as much as 12%. It's pared some of those losses, but it's still down right now about 10%. They had earnings, so they cut their full year earnings outlook. But I think what's capturing actually more attention is that CVS is dropping their Zepbound weight loss drug from their list of preferred drugs. Mm-hmm. And this is really a blow to Eli Lilly because they negotiated a deal with one of their top competitors, Novo Nordisk, and they're now going to make Novo's Wegovy more widely available to those CVS members. So this is not a good day to be long Eli Lilly, but good for Novo.
I feel like the back and forth with these drugs, you kind of see this, right, as different things, different developments. And some of them, you'll see gaining, declining. It just kind of moves around.
Well, there's this price war going on. I mean, earlier this week, Novo reached this deal with Hims and Hers, along with two other telehealth providers, to sell a month's supply of Wegovy, starting at $499. That's before subscription fees. Lilly announced an expanded partnership with Weight Watchers on April 29th that was aimed at reaching customers who are looking for lower cost treatment options. So there's a lot of back and forth in the space. Yeah,
Novo actually was up as much as 3.5% today. It's in the red now, which is interesting because earlier in the trading session, it was very clear, like, this is good for Eli Lilly, this is bad for Novo. Healthcare is the worst performing sector in the S&P 500 today. So just broadly, that sector is lower.
All right, let's talk about another one that is definitely selling off as well, Qualcomm.
Okay, so Qualcomm shares are falling. The chipmaker gave a tepid revenue forecast. It actually wasn't that bad. I mean, they said revenue will be $9.9 billion to $10.7 billion, with the midpoint of that range is actually below the estimates, which were 10.33. So, I mean, we're just talking numbers here, but they are the biggest maker of chips that run smartphones. So there's a lot of focus on Qualcomm amid the trade war. Mm-hmm. We have Apple earnings coming up. I imagine we'll be focusing on this as well. Like, just how much is this company going to be affected by tariffs and global trade? So, yeah, that's in focus right now.
Okay, and a name that's not necessarily a tech name, but one that's getting a lot of attention right now. Carrier Global is on your radar. How come?
Yeah, I had to flag this because the headline today, Carrier Global mitigates tariffs helped by price increases. They said in on a call with investors, they're fully mitigating tariff exposure through essentially raising prices. I hadn't heard of this company, but it's fairly large. It's now 60 billion in market cap. They manufacture HVAC equipment, and I guess they've figured out a way to mitigate that tariff response. But like, it's good for the shareholders, it's good for the stock price. Mm-hmm. But now for all the customers that have to buy these HVAC, equipment parts, they have to potentially pay more.
What's interesting, it's a company that has pricing power, right? I mean, thinking about it in the context of other companies and how they're dealing with passing along these prices. If they do find price increases, do they pass them on to the consumer? Do they absorb them? It depends on what you're selling.
I mean, the CEO said, right, we're fully mitigating our tariff exposure through supply chain and productivity actions with the balance of about $300 million via price. So it sounds like they've got multiple approaches where they are able to do things, and make it work.
Yeah. I mean, they raised their earnings outlook for the year. The stock was down about 8% through the year, but right now it's much higher. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just getting it to load. Now up 12%. Yeah. Highest jump, biggest jump since April 2020.
Yeah. And it's up about 3% year to date. Yeah, I think that's kind of interesting. No offense, but I need my air conditioning.
Everybody does.
In my United States.
And my heating when it gets cold.
But that is one of the narratives that we've talked about, Carol, that has emerged in recent years, is the idea of these climate control companies that do indoor climate control.
Yeah.
Like, that's, that's not discretionary, right? That's something that's a necessity, especially as different parts of the world get warmer.
Yeah. I mean, in high school, when I was trying to save on gas, I would definitely just keep the windows down in the car instead of turning the air conditioning on. But yeah, I would say it's somewhat of a consumer staple.
We do a lot of crazy
What
things
about
in
your
high school.
apartment?
Yeah.
In the summer, air conditioning's on.
The air conditioning's on
Exactly.
now. I'm a respectable adult now.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.